Let God lead the flow. This past Sunday, Dr. GreGory reminded us that obedience isn't optional, it's foundational. It's not just about doing what God says, it's about positioning yourself to receive what He has already prepared. When we resist His voice, we step out of rhythm and into chaos. But when we obey, even the smallest instructions can shift everything in our favor. Obedience creates flow. Dr. GreGory painted a powerful picture using the ocean. Don't fight the rip current, float with it. In other words, stop fighting God's will and start flowing in it. Many of us are exhausted not because life is hard, but because we're swimming against the current of God's direction. The moment we submit to His flow, He begins to carry us, restoring what we lost in the struggle. Obedience creates momentum. It opens doors, it calms storms, and sometimes it starts with simple things like making your bed, shutting your mouth in an argument, or walking away from what looks like a good opportunity but doesn't have God's fingerprint on it. Don't compromise your convictions. In a touching story, Dr. GreGory shared about his encounter with the legendary Dr. Maya Angelou, where he was tempted to break his dietary commitment out of respect. While it may have seemed like a small thing, it reminded us that compromise often shows up dressed in politeness, convenience, or ambition. We must constantly ask ourselves, who is my God? And am I willing to compromise Him for validation, success, or comfort? Obedience means choosing God, even when it costs something. When you water down your convictions, you risk raising a version of faith that can't stand when the storm comes. Check the trail you're leaving behind. Dr. GreGory reminded us that anger doesn't just hurt you, it reshapes you. It turns into bitterness, and that bitterness eventually spills out as complaining. When left unresolved, anger can mutate into manipulation. And emotional wounds, when not surrendered to God, can fester into emotional witchcraft, where we begin to control others out of our own pain. The trail of an angry person affects everyone around them, household, co-workers, and friends. If you've been hosting anger, it's time to evict it. Host healing instead. Faith moves what prayer lifts. Prayer lifts it, but faith moves it. That statement struck a chord in the room. We often pray and wait, but faith isn't waiting silently, it's speaking boldly. Dr. GreGory reminded us that you don't need a mountain of faith, you just need a mustard seed, a microdose. That's enough to move the mountain in front of you. But here's the key, your voice is the activator. Your mountain, whether it's fear, sickness, insecurity, or lack, is waiting for your words. Speak to it. Declare what God said. Life and death are in the power of your tongue, and your breakthrough might just be on the other side of your bold declaration. Discern the difference between a pause and a period. Sometimes what feels like the end is just a divine pause, a comma, a semicolon. God is still writing. Pastor urged us not to confuse silence for abandonment or delay for denial. Some things aren't finished. He just said they're just linked to what's next. We must have the discernment to recognize when God is asking us to wait and when He's calling us to move. If you skip the pause, you may miss the instruction. If you misread the punctuation, you may misinterpret God's plan. Discernment protects direction. Proverbs 6 and 8. Consider the ant. Go to the ant. Consider their ways and be wise. Ants move without needing constant direction. Scout ants locate resources and build paths for others to follow. Dr. GreGory asked us 3 questions. Number 1, who are you gathering with? Number 2, who left the trail you're following? And number 3, and what kind of trail are you leaving? Just because a path is crowded doesn't mean it's productive. Culture, Peer pressure and convenience cannot be your compass. Obedience must be. God doesn't call us to follow the crowd. He calls us to follow Him, even if it's the narrow path. Speak with authority. One of the most powerful moments came when Dr. GreGory declared, "Faith speaks. Your voice is the activator. Speak to it." We have authority as believers, but too often we stay silent. Your mountain is not waiting on a miracle, it's waiting on your mouth. Don't wait for someone else to speak over your situation. Speak life, speak healing, speak peace. Whatever it is, speak to it. Command it in the name of Jesus. Walk in your God-given authority. If you've been struggling with silence, compromise, delay, or confusion, take heart. The same God who commands the sea is calling you to trust His current. Let go of the fight. Stop hosting bitterness and speak with faith. Remember me, Lord. Let that be your prayer this week. Remember me, Lord. A whisper of humility and a declaration of trust.